Marcus Aurelius once said, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself and your way of thinking." The Roman philosopher Marcus Aurelius said that many of humanity's problems arise when people find it difficult to be calm and quiet alone in a room. In this video, we'll explore whether Marcus Aurelius was right. The idea is that a person's bedroom should be a special place, a quiet refuge away from the worries of the outside world. Psychotherapist Alfred Adler suggested that most problems are related to interactions between people. When you're alone, these problems usually subside unless you pick up your phone and get on social media. That's when the problems start. That person who doesn't reply to your message, that person who seems to have a better life than you, that person whose message can be interpreted in many ways, but you choose to focus only on the negative interpretations. Your phone can become a source of suffering, stimulating relationship problems. But if you put the phone away, you'll realize that you don't actually have a problem. You're just sitting quietly in a room by yourself. Sitting alone without distractions can be positive for personal development. The mind, with less stimulation, can try to convince you that there are too many things to do and that sitting in silence is not a good idea. Sitting alone can reveal the problematic part of the mind. When you're just sitting, the mind can make you feel guilty, restless, and tense, as if you had an annoying roommate next to you. These moments alone highlight the negative side of the mind, allowing for a deeper understanding. You realize that the mind constantly creates problems. It feeds on challenges, and when it's not being stimulated, it becomes aggressive. This shows that the mind is not exactly a friend. It wants you to worry about the future, be stressed, and torment yourself with the past. Yet you simply want to be silent. Who is this you? This you is consciousness itself, the being within the human being. The human part is the ego, the part that identifies with the material world, people, places, and objects. By sitting alone, you can connect with your inner self and let go of the more mundane aspect. In a busy world, where humanity's collective mind is driven by the incessant search for things, Eckhart Tolle points out that nothing external can provide lasting satisfaction, only temporary and superficial satisfaction. You may have to go through several disappointments before you understand this truth. Breaking away from the collective pattern of constantly seeking, worrying about, and acting towards future goals will bring peace of mind to your life. You don't have to reach any destination, you're already here. Of course, you will eventually get up to do activities, but your presence with yourself will remain. You can make plans for the future, but you can make those plans entirely in the present. After the storm of thoughts has passed, sitting quietly in a room can provide a glimpse of being. If you cultivate the habit of sitting in silence regularly, you will instinctively remember this inner haven of peace. This isn't just about being alone in a room. The tranquility you feel with a serene mind is always within reach. While stuck in traffic, waiting for the bus, or walking to school or work, take a few moments to connect with yourself, feel the vitality within your body, and listen to the silence that is present even behind the loudest sounds. This connection with your being is what can keep you centered in a hectic world. Whether you're sitting, standing, or lying down somewhere, this is a simple truth. The mind likes to complicate things, but this realization can anchor you in the simplicity of the present moment. Whether you're outside or inside a room, sitting, standing, or lying down, isolate the moment when you're just there. Inside a room, sitting, the peace and joy of your being can flourish. There are no problems. It's the mind that creates problems. Have you ever noticed that when one problem is solved, another one instantly appears to take its place? The mind feeds on problems, but there is no problem in simply being. The ability to be alone is a valuable training that contributes directly to the way we face challenges in relationships with others. If we can't cultivate a state of tranquility and serenity when we're alone, how can we hope to remain calm in the midst of an argument or conflict with another person? In social interactions, egos often feed off each other, and impulsive reactions can become a constant. In such situations, we tend to cling rigidly to our mental perspective, firmly believing that we are always right, because the mind finds it difficult to admit mistakes. Resistance to the idea of being wrong is understandable, since conceding this point of view can lead to the collapse of the false identity on which we often base ourselves. Eckhart Tolle offers an additional perspective by stating that a fully conscious person doesn't get involved in discussions. This view highlights the importance of not rigidly sticking to one's own idea of oneself during social interactions. Developing a stable inner space and a quiet mind becomes crucial in this context. Seneca's guidance on the importance of allowing the mind to rest resonates with the idea that a relaxed mind becomes stronger and sharper after adequate rest periods. Just as fertile fields should not be cultivated uninterruptedly to preserve their fertility, constantly insisting on mental work can wear down your strength. Uninterrupted work without adequate breaks can result in a certain lack of sharpness and weakening in the rational soul. The kind of relaxation Seneca mentions is not when we are watching TV, taking a bath, or listening to music. If we do these activities unconsciously, without being fully present in the moment, they become ways of blocking out the voice in our mind. It can be beneficial to shower consciously, and these forms of relaxation can be ways of resting in being. However, we shouldn't depend on external things to relax. Otherwise, most of the time, we won't be able to relax properly, which can be detrimental to our well-being. Marcus Aurelius argued, "If you seek tranquility, do less." Therefore, sitting quietly in a room is the best way to relax. It teaches us to relax without stimuli, which is like having a superpower. This kind of relaxation involves accepting the present moment, regardless of how it appears. As Eckhart Tolle explains, acceptance may seem like a passive state, but it actually brings something completely new into this world. That peace, a vibration of subtle energy, is consciousness. So Marcus Aurelius was right. Many of humanity's problems arise from the difficulty people have in sitting quietly in a room by themselves. When these words resonate, we realize the transformative power they can have in our lives. I invite you to try a simple practice. The next time you enter your room, take a few minutes to sit down and enjoy the silence, focusing especially on the stillness that manifests itself among the external sounds. These moments of tranquility have the remarkable power to help build lasting inner serenity. Eckhart Tolle offers a valuable perspective on the relationship between external and internal noise, as well as external and internal silence. By exploring your room with unlabeled eyes, you can notice how objects take on a new freshness. What's more, when you realize that objects exist within the space of your room, you're confronted with the intriguing truth that, without space, there would be no room. Following this line of reasoning, Eckhart Tolle leads us to a broader perception, explaining that a vast presence of silence not only embraces all of nature, but also embraces us. This silence is a presence that transcends physical barriers, connecting us to the totality of life. By exploring these moments of silence, we immerse ourselves not only in a quiet space, but also in the connective vastness that embraces existence. Paying attention to the world around you is also an opportunity to tune in to your inner body. Are there any uncomfortable emotions or feelings of pain? Gently bring them to your attention. Accept them, as they are part of what is happening right now. Explore your hands, your feet. Is there any tingling in your toes? Where is the sensation now? Can you relax into this state without getting involved with the thoughts in your mind? Be the observer of thoughts. They come and go just like the sounds you hear. Treat them as sounds, as part of the content of the experience. You don't believe that the sound of a car is you. In the same way, don't believe that a thought is you. The more time you dedicate to these moments of silence with yourself, the easier it will be to rest in the awareness of the present. When this video is over, before you get up and do anything, take some time just to be. Just be, and notice how you feel. It only takes a moment. That moment is a glory, an invigorating feeling that we shouldn't ignore. It's another step towards living a full life without being hurt by external things. To this end, Marcus Aurelius also had 15 Stoic principles for not caring. Click on the video on the screen and see these 15 principles right now.